Today on Public Eye News, 26 people were rescued after being stranded on an ice floe in Lake Superior, and an update on the impeachment trial.
Later, Megan Tarcia will have your weather, and Nate Jacobs will be back to give you your sports. Hi, I'm Scott Minshaw.
I'm Nate Jacobs, and this is Public Eye News. Partnering with PBS, the Michigan Learning Channel is coming right here to WNMU-TV. With the help of community leaders and leading educators, WNMU-TV is one of 6 stations across Michigan to deliver instructional programming. This free programming is available 24/7, 365 to students, parents, and teachers. It is available online at michiganlearning.org or live on TV on channel 13.4. The lessons available coincide with Michigan's educational standards and are designed to enrich and support the learning in school. Material on the channel ranges from material for pre-K all the way to 12th grade and includes documentaries and educational resources on the weekends. The program is assisted in funding by $3.5 million in awards, including grants through the CARES Act. And Tuesday afternoon in the Marquette Township, a downstate man was injured in a single-person snowmobile accident. The Marquette County Sheriff's Office was called at 12:15 yesterday afternoon to trail number 14 following the report. Accidentally pulling the throttle around the curb, 78-year-old Michael Sampson's snowmobile left the track and flung him from the machine. Marquette County Fire Department and EMS, along with UP Health Systems EMS, arrived at the scene and transported Sampson to the UP Health System with a pelvic injury.
Patriot Towing up here in the Upper Peninsula has seen a drastic rise in business as a week of snow and frigid temperatures cover the Upper Peninsula. Patriot Towing owner Neil Mariette says that the winter weather brings a lot of problems, such as cars not starting and car accidents. According to Marietta, the snow makes the roads very hazardous and dangerous to drive on, so you should only drive if you absolutely have to. Patriot Towing is also recommending that if you have to drive, make sure that you have the proper things in case you do get stuck. If you get caught out on the highway, in some places it could take upwards of an hour for a tow truck to reach you. Make sure you have blankets, a coat, and other essential items in your car to stay safe. This morning, 26 people had to be rescued from an ice floe that broke away from a shoreline outside of Duluth, Minnesota. This is eerily similar to a story that we reported on last week when upwards of 60 people had to be rescued from a breakaway ice floe in Wisconsin. The Coast Guard worked with local agencies in order to retrieve the fishermen from the ice. They did so by using boats to bring a few people at a time to shore. Again, officials would like to remind people to be extra cautious when going onto the ice, as this year's mild winter has caused more cracks than usual. Always check with local advisories before making a trip onto the ice.
Around 8 o'clock yesterday night, a train derailed in Escanaba near 19th Avenue North on the west side of the city. Both conductors are okay and were able to walk away with minor injuries. Cleanup is still ongoing. Investigations on the derailment are scheduled to begin with no major issues caused by the accident. There was no stopped traffic due in part, and it was not around any residential areas. Escanaba Public Safety responded to the scene, as well as Delta County Central Dispatch Center, Rampart EMS, CN Railroad, and UP Environmental. Stop, go, I don't know. Traffic may look a little different in the Ironwood Township after a newly installed flashing stop sign was stolen from the corner of Vanderhagen and Airport Road. According to the Gogebic County Sheriff's Office, these signs are, quote, very expensive to purchase and the replacement of this one is unlikely, end quote. The Sheriff's Office is just trying to put a stop to these shenanigans and claim if the sign is returned in a fully working condition by February 15th, no charges will be sought. For anyone with information regarding the stolen stop sign, please reach out to Gogebic County Sheriff's Office at 906-667-0203. And after this break, we'll be right back with your national and international news.
What makes our modern world? I'm David Pogue.
Here's your smile.
In this Nova mini-series, super strength molecules make miraculous materials.
It's amazing.
But with a dirty secret.
Come on.
Do we really need this stuff?
The only thing between me and certain death is chemistry?
Beyond the Elements, Indestructible on Nova.
Tonight at 9 and tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Welcome back. Yesterday, a man walked into a Buffalo, Minnesota health clinic and opened fire. The man, Gregory Paul Ulrich, 67, killed one staff member and injured 4 others in the shooting. Ulrich, who was arrested almost immediately, had a long history of conflict with medical facilities in the area and had been unhappy with the care he had received at the clinic previously. Ulrich had previously threatened to bring violence to the facility in retaliation for the care he had received there. A police report even shows a doctor of his told investigators in 2018 Ulrich had talked about, quote, shooting, blowing things up, and practicing different scenarios of how to get revenge, end quote. Ulrich is currently in jail and is expected to appear in court tomorrow. Today, the Citi Field massive vaccination site in Queens, New York opened by appointment only. Many people showed up without one, desperate for the vaccine, but were turned away by security guards. John Diaz is at Citi Field in New York City with the latest.
Lines outside Citi Field on Wednesday filled with mixed emotions. For the lucky ones able to score a vaccine appointment, it's a home run.
I feel very happy.
But most waiting in line have no guarantee because
We don't have appointment.
while some left feeling defeated, others hoping some cancel their appointments and they get to step up to the plate, like this Queens man who already had COVID, fearing he could get it again.
I had it very bad and I thought that was my last day already.
He and his wife both qualified, but finding it impossible to book an appointment.
If I have to wait here all day, as long as I hope for the best and we both can get it.
And this woman who has cancer hasn't been able to reserve a spot.
I try through my primary doctor. I try with my oncologist. Everybody said no vaccines.
The 24-hour vaccine mega hub at Citi Field will operate Wednesdays to Saturdays. It's designated specifically for Queens residents who qualify, TLC drivers, and food service workers. On Friday, Yankee Stadium in the Bronx opened a similar site with enough supply in their first week for 15,000 doses. But a stark contrast at Citi Field, only 800 doses, roughly 200 a day, about 8 an hour, for a borough of more than 2 million.
Mayor de Blasio, 800? Not enough.
Shame on them. All of them, all the politicians. That's ridiculous.
Mayor de Blasio says the Yankee Stadium site is being handled by the state, while the Citi Field site is being handled by the city with less supply.
We expect to get some more coming in, but the bottom line is we need to see equity. We lost 7,000 residents here.
The United Arab Emirates made history on Tuesday with their spacecraft making their first successful trip into Mars orbit and their first out of Earth's orbit. The craft, named Amal, which is Arabic for hope, will begin to orbit Mars and collect data on the atmosphere. This was no easy feat, with Mars's orbit being a death trap for spacecrafts, but the 7-month, 300,000-mile trip for Amal seems to be paying off. The United States and China both have spacecraft set to follow the same mission and are only a few days behind. Perseverance, the U.S. rover, is set to land on Mars in a week on February 18th. The U.S. is the only country to have successfully landed on Mars, doing so 8 times, in a recent attempt to bring back space rocks for examination of microscopic life. And the Senate voted Tuesday that the second impeachment trial of former President Trump is constitutional and can proceed. And with that, today House prosecutors start presenting their case on the charge Mr. Trump incited an insurrection. Natalie Brand has more details from Capitol Hill.
House impeachment managers are laying out their opening arguments in the impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump. They're expected to show never-before-seen security camera video of the assault on the Capitol.
As we will prove, the attack on the Capitol was not solely the work of extremists lurking in the shadows.
They have up to 2 days to make their case. Mr. Trump's words and actions, falsely claiming the election was stolen.
The election was totally rigged.
Along with his Stop the Steal rally on January 6th, directly led to the deadly riot later that day.
That's a high crime and misdemeanor. If that's not an impeachable offense, then there is no such thing.
President Trump's attorneys will take their turn at the end of the week. They were broadly criticized for their performance Tuesday during arguments over the constitutionality of the trial.
We changed what we were going to do on account that we thought that the House manager's presentation was well done.
Some Republican senators called lead attorney Bruce Castor's arguments rambling, a rocky start, and even inappropriate. Louisiana's Bill Cassidy described the presentation as disorganized and changed his position, joining 5 other Republicans who voted with Democrats to let the trial move forward.
Now, if I'm an impartial juror and one side's doing a great job and the other side's doing a terrible job on the issue at hand, as an impartial juror, I'm going to vote for the side that did the good job.
Sources close to President Trump tell CBS News he was angry about his team's performance. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Don't touch that dial, because after this break, we will be back with weather and sports.
On Masterpiece. It may not seem like it, but you've done us a favor.
Sorry I'm late.
Bed now.
Out of the question.
Who's next?
Our dad told us not to worry.
I'll do everything I can. You're suggesting an operation. What have we got to lose?
You'd be giving them false hope.
Follow your heart. It's what got you here in the first place, isn't it?
Siegfried will kill us. Probably.
All creatures, great and small, on Masterpiece.
Sunday night at 9.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Megan Tarcia here with your weather. Behind me is a very sunny but bitterly cold NMU campus. Looking into today's conditions, it is partly cloudy with a temperature of 5 degrees. Our winds are west at 12 miles per hour, and our barometric pressure is 30.29 and rising. Looking into tonight's conditions, it'll be partly cloudy with a low of -4 degrees. Winds will be west-northwest at 10 miles per hour. And tomorrow's conditions will be cloudy with snow showers with a high of 11 degrees, and our winds will be northwest at 10 miles per hour. Looking across the UP, starting in Sault Ste. Marie, is snow showers at 19 degrees. Manistique, 11 and cloudy. Escanaba, 9 with snow showers. Down in Menominee, 10 with snow showers. Iron Mountain is 8 and partly cloudy. Ironwood is 2 degrees with snow showers. Up in Houghton, it is 8 and snowy. And here in Marquette, it is partly cloudy with 11 degrees. Looking ahead at our weekly conditions, starting with Friday, it'll be a high of 11 and a low of 0 degrees. On and off snow showers throughout the day. Saturday will be a high of 9 with a low of -2 with snow showers later in the day. And Sunday will be a high of 5 degrees and a low of -3 with scattered snow showers. Now going to Nate Jacobs with our sports.
Thanks, Megan. We've got some hot news for you today. See, former NBA star and current NBA analyst Shaquille O'Neal's famously owned Krispy Kreme donut store burnt down early this morning. Fire services in Atlanta responded to Shaq's restaurant on Ponce de Leon Avenue shortly after midnight, with the fire heavily damaging the structure. According to Battalion Chief Douglas Hatcher, the fire started in the rear of the building and crews were able to salvage most of the structure. The cause of the fire is currently under investigation. Shaq bought the famed restaurant back in 2016, and when asked about the fire, said, quote, "I hope no one was hurt and we will bounce back better than ever," end quote. The Dallas Mavericks has decided to stop playing the national anthem before their games this season. The NBA, which does have a rule that requires players to stand during the anthem, have not enforced the rule in recent years as more players chose to kneel in protest during the anthem. The decision made by Mavericks owner Mark Cuban was met with mixed reaction, with some praising the decision and some criticizing it. NBA spokesman Tim Frank said under unique circumstances this season, the decisions that make up pregame rituals are up to individual teams. And famed sports journalist Therese Paylor has suddenly died at the age of 37. Paylor, who covered the NFL and specifically the Kansas City Chiefs for a number of years, becoming one of the prominent sports journalists in the country. Paylor, who hosted a podcast for Yahoo Sports and was the site's senior NFL reporter, was well-liked and respected by all of his coworkers and has received praise for his work in the days since his passing. Paylor is survived by his fiancée and longtime girlfriend, Ebony Reed.
Well, that's all the time we have here for today. On behalf of everyone down here at WNMU Channel 13, I'm Scott Minshaw.
And I'm Nate Jacobs.
Stay classy, Marquette.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.